Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares. Welcome back to another thrilling edition of What's in the Bag, Jay? Now, this is the segment where I take 6 movies from my collection that I haven't seen, write their names on a piece of paper, throw them in the bag, draw one out at random, and do a review. Now, returning from last week, A House is Not a Home, Zombie Fight Club, Doom Annihilation. For some reason, I keep calling that Doom Asylum. Probably because of the Arrow movie, but yeah. Witch's Brew, Vampire Over London, and making his debut this week, thanks to Jack from Jay Super Awesome, is Relic. Really wanting to see that. All right, guys, let's give the bag a good tussle, and we'll see what we're going to watch this week. All right. Let's see. We have Witch's Brew. Now I'm going to set that aside while I set all the other movies side by side by side. Another special thank you to Jacob Carver for Witch's Brew. And we're going to take my trusty Freddy vs. Jason die and see what comes back next week. Just remember, if I roll a Freddy vs. Jason or a 6, I believe, I have to re-roll. One. Ooh. Should make it interesting this week. Let's give the bag a good tussle. Draw one name out of the bag. And it is... Alrighty, it is Relic. Alright, guys, you know what's next. If you want to see A House is Not a Home comeback, Zombie Fight Club, Doom Annihilation, not Doom Asylum, or Vampire Over London comeback, please vote and I will consider bringing them back. But right now, I'm going to go watch Witch's Brew and come back with a short review later. Well, I'm back. I just watched Witch's Brew, and here are my thoughts. Witch's Brew is a 2011 film, which runs approximately 87 minutes. I'm going to just start out by saying that it is a much better movie than I watched last week. I mean, what a way to start Season 3. Lord. Okay, now this actually had some coincidences for me. Let me start out by saying that this is written and directed by Chris LaMartina. Now, any of you who've been following my channel know that I am very fond of a movie called President's Day. I just reviewed it for Slashback Saturday not that long ago. And I got a Blu-ray copy from my friend Mike Hatfill, which special thank you to Mike Hatfill. That was also directed by Chris LaMartina. And I actually didn't know that because Jacob Carver sent me this DVD. So the first two coincidences are, of course, it's directed by Chris LaMartina. The second one that, I don't know if you guys know about me, but I love Shriek Show. Shriek Show is done by a company called Media Blasters. And what I also didn't know about this, because I didn't look very hard, is this is a Media Blaster DVD. So thank you so much, Jacob Carver. You read my mind. Okay. Now, Chris LaMartina is also responsible for, of course, President's Day, which I love, Call Girl of Cthulhu, which I also really enjoyed, and Grave Mistakes, which I haven't seen yet, but I want to. Now, this stars Chris Magorian as Jeff Ducker. He was in President's Day. Gary Kai Fletcher as Preston Oakley. I couldn't find anything on him. and Ryan Scott Thomas as Bruce Bartoli. He was in Territory, President's Day, and VHS 2. He was in one of the segments. Now, this also has it's a bigger part than in President's Day, but it also has Sean C. Phillips, which is Cool Duder, as Cosmo. Now, this had a budget of $10,000. It was filmed where I'm from in Baltimore, Maryland, just like President's Day, and it was shot in the summer of 2010. Now, let's get into a little bit of a synopsis. I'll tell you a little bit, some more coincidences as we go along. You have two guys who are microbrewing beer, and the beer is called Slacker Brew. I believe is what it's called. I know it's called Slacker. Slacker Lager. Maybe that's the name of it. I think it's Slacker Lager. And it just so happens that in their area, there is a witch's coven that is in a house. One of the witches turns herself into a black cat to go to a different part of the area that they live in to collect another girl in order to perform a ritual. She accidentally gets run over while as a black cat by the two guys that brew Slacker Lager. Of course, she has a tag around her neck. If lost, take back to, and it has an address on there. So they put the cat in a bag and they take the cat back to where it lives. Well, of course, they don't know that it's really a girl who turned into a black cat. They think it's just a cat. And the witches put a curse on their Slacker Lager, the beer that they brewed. Now, this beer, of course, is like I said, they microbrew it themselves. They have certain accounts that they're like, it seems like they're in college, but they have certain accounts like the local liquor store and some of the parties that are going on in the area. So, unfortunately, all these people get Slacker Lager. I'm pretty much going to leave it there, but some bad things happen because people drink it and all hell breaks loose. Literally, figuratively, it's just crazy. All right. Now, some of the similarities, of course, are the cast. Most of them were in President's Day. The extended cast was also in President's Day. Just about everybody I saw that was in the movie in some way, shape, or form was involved with President's Day. So, and this movie is just crazy, but it's a lot of fun. It's gory, it's silly, it has that sort of horror comedy sort of aspect to it, but it does take itself a little bit seriously. But it's just a ton of fun. I cannot recommend this enough. I wanted to say a big thank you to Jacob Carver because I actually won this. I won this by entering his contest, and he sent this to me, and I had no idea how close this was to what I love. I mean, from the director down to the brand of DVD. I guess I should have looked at it closer, but yeah. This is Media Blaster, which does Shriek Show. It does Tokyo Shock. It does Rare Flicks, stuff like that. And I love that brand. Now, granted, I have had a couple problems with some of the DVDs. This doesn't happen to be one of them, but I still do love the company because they put out a lot of stuff that a lot of other people wouldn't dare put out back then. So, yeah. This is definitely a recommendation if you can find a copy of it. I definitely recommend it. It is low budget, but definitely not like what I reviewed last week. It's a lot of fun, and it's just a lot of fun. That's about all I can say about it. So, and don't forget to vote for what didn't make it this week. And if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.